Welcome to the Cristo Rey Network Virtual College Fair. Thank you very much for joining us today. We're very excited to have you with us. We have two fantastic schools here presenting. Before we get started with the presentations, just a few quick housekeeping items. First, my name is Christopher, and I will be facilitating this session. We also want to remind you that your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists will not be able to see or hear you. And also, please do feel free to utilize that Q&A button to ask questions to any of the panelists at any time. You can ask a question to both panelists, or you can ask a question to either one of the panelists. That is certainly your choice. And also just remember, a recording of this session will be available at the strivescan.com/Cristo Rey website. Without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and turn it over to our first presenter, which will be Oglethorpe University.
Perfect. Good afternoon. I'm going to share my screen with you all to get started today. And as he mentioned, my name is Autumn Johnson. I'm from Oglethorpe University. We are a private liberal arts and sciences university located in Atlanta, Georgia, which is relatively very close to your school. So with that, Oglethorpe has the privilege and opportunity of being a small school with big city opportunities. What that means is our full-time undergraduate enrollment is right under 1,500 students. Our average class size is 17. As an alumna myself, when I was at Oglethorpe, I can say for about 80% of my classes, I was one of 10 to 12 students. So I was really able to engage with my peers and my professors quite well and easily. And when it came time for graduate school applications, job applications, intern applications, everything of the sorts, I already had those connections built up. But also 15 minutes in either direction of campus, you are in the heart of something, whether it's a museum, whether it's a concert venue, whether it's a park or an internship opportunity. Oglethorpe University really does network and use the surrounding city as an extension of campus. Also, it is not rare that when you're taking one of our courses in any discipline, that they have other applied learning opportunities where you're going to go off campus and connect with the city as well. So instead of offering 2 years of general education, we offer the core program, which is 9 classes spread across 8 total semesters. So it only take about 1 to 2 a semester. And with that, we like to say it's career prep for every job you'll ever have. Because when we're hearing back from graduate programs, Fortune 500 companies, and everything in between, critical thinking, effective communication skills, logical debate skills, creative problem-solving abilities, collaboration and leadership are at the forefront of what these groups are looking for. So through our core program, we really do kind of base the foundation of what we are learning through those texts around these pillars. And with that, if you have an interested major or minor already in mind, you can come in taking those classes your first semester on campus, but it also gives you the flexibility to try out other courses to make sure that the program you're in is where you want to be. And maybe at the end of your freshman year, you've taken a sociology class or a theater class or a dual degree engineering class, and you want to switch it up from there. You have the flexibility and the authority to do so due to our core program being so flexible in nature. As for value, we do offer 96% of our student body some form of merit aid ranging between $18,000 and $24,000 per year. Also, October 1st, when our FAFSA application opens and our internal aid form application opens as well, that's going to tell us everything from the state, the federal government, and from Oglethorpe that you are also eligible to receive. In addition to that, if you are pursuing an IB diploma or you are musically inclined, we also have separate scholarships for those as well. As you may or may not know, because we are a private university, we do accept Hope and Zell Miller, just at a reduced amount. If you're Hope eligible, that amount is usually about $4,600 per year, and the amount for Zell is anywhere around $5,200 per year. In addition to that, anything such as Pell Grants, Stafford loans, et cetera, that you find are going to come through on that internal aid form or your FAFSA application. With that, we are also a flagship 50 institution. That means if you can give us a 3.8 GPA, a 1,400 on your SAT, and a 30 ACT, we are going to give you enough merit aid from Oglethorpe ourselves to drop our listed price of tuition down to the cost of UGA. So you'll be paying no more in tuition than a student attending our university's state school, once again, which is UGA. How to apply? So simply, we need the application itself. You can find us on Common App or our oglethorpe.edu website. and a copy of your transcript. This year, we are completely test optional. So if you have a score that you do believe is reflective of your academic ability, by all means, go ahead and send that in to us. If you're a little hesitant or cautious to send that in, but you have a testing date coming up in November or next March, and those scores you believe reflect your academic ability, at that time, just send those scores into us and we will continually update your application from there. Optional materials also include, so just mentioned, test scores. If you'd like to complete a one-on-one interview, your interview will be with myself since I'm your specific counselor. And that would really just be to gauge who you are as a person outside of academics. So your community involvement, clubs and organizations, do you work part-time? And really just trying to see how you would benefit from Oglethorpe and how Oglethorpe will simultaneously benefit from you being a student as well. Also, letters of recommendation. We do suggest students send in no more to 3 to 5, but we do read every letter of recommendation and every material you submit as we do a holistic review of the application. So once again, all of these optional materials are wonderful if you want to submit them, but none of them are required other than the application itself and a copy of your transcript. With that, we are in the early action phase of our admission cycle, which means if you're able to give us your materials by November 1st, once again, just the app and a copy of your transcript, you will be potentially eligible to compete for one of our 10 to 12 full tuition scholarships. And in addition to that, the application fee is completely waived. So I know it was kind of brief on time, but I will also be visiting Cristo Rey's campus on October 22nd. So if you have any questions, I will be in person to connect with you then. My email is on the screen, is ajohnson8@oglethorpe.edu. And on the right-hand side, you can see our social medias from Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter to keep in touch with us. And I look forward to speaking with you all and hopefully seeing you all relatively soon as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Oglethorpe. To anybody who just joined us, please do feel free to send any questions you have to the presenters utilizing that Q&A feature. You can ask about admissions process, majors, student life, whatever you want. It's a great opportunity to get some additional questions. Up next, we're going to hear from Florida Southern College.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Christopher. Great presentation there by Oglethorpe. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and we'll go ahead and get started and learn a little bit more about Florida Southern College here today. I introduce myself. My name is Joe Madigan. I serve as the Director of Undergraduate Recruitment Outreach at Florida Southern. It's been my pleasure to work with our incredible admissions team here, and whether it be you're at a Cristo Rey campus in California or Illinois, here in Florida and Georgia, we're really excited for you to learn a little bit more about Florida Southern College here today. A little bit of background on Florida Southern College and just getting started with some basic information. Florida Southern College is located in the city of Lakeland, which, if you're not familiar with the state of Florida, we are halfway in between Orlando and Tampa. 30 minutes east of us is the Walt Disney World Resort, and then 30 minutes west of us is downtown Tampa, and specifically Raymond James Stadium, home of Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Florida Southern is actually Florida's oldest private university. We've actually been around since 1883, great tradition and history of Florida Southern, and we are home to just over 3,000 total undergraduate students. I will share with you, we also have 600 to 700 graduate students earning their master's and doctoral degrees. And within our Florida Southern College community, you're going to meet students from all over the world. 60% of our students are from the state of Florida, and 40% of our students are from out of state. So you can meet someone from Illinois or California or Colorado or Nigeria or China, or right from Florida itself, like the Cristo Rey campus in Tampa. All of our students represent almost all 53 different states and US territories, and then over 50 foreign countries. One thing I'm most proud to share with you here today is Florida Southern College was most recently recognized once again by US News and World Report. We were just ranked number 8 for best undergraduate teaching, number 8 in the South for top universities. And one thing we're also known for is our innovation here at Florida Southern. We are number 10 for innovation in US News and World Report. Some of our academic programs are getting a lot of recognition too, as we have over 70 different academic programs of study here at Florida Southern College that range from everything from the 5 different schools we offer at Florida Southern College, from our School of Business, to nursing, that's a direct admit program, to if you're interested in exceptional sciences. I mentioned master's and doctoral degrees, and I get the question a lot, Joe, what majors do you actually have within these schools that are there? Well, you can take a look here, even though it looks like a big list, they're really grouped together. So if you're interested, whether it be in the business areas, you're more interested in fine arts and getting on stage in theater or musical theater, maybe you're interested in studying our brand new computer science building on campus that just got an $8.4 million grant from the National Science Foundation, specifically in areas of cybersecurity here at Florida Southern, you're gonna find it as an academic opportunities. We truly have something for everyone at Florida Southern, including accelerated options if you want to earn your master's degree in 5 years' time too. So a lot of great options. If you're looking to take a screenshot of a page today, that's a great one to take a look at. And no matter what major you choose at Florida Southern College, you as the student are going to be the focus here. We believe in engaged learning and experiential education. You learn by doing here at Florida Southern College. And we really believe in the power of immersing our students into their field and their academic major as soon as possible. For example, maybe you're a student interested in marine sciences and environmental studies here and doing research. We actually just got another grant from the National Science Foundation, over $1 million, for our work that we're doing in climate change and working with crab populations in the Tampa estuary area. Or maybe you want to get into the classroom and study in our School of Education with our own elementary and middle school right on campus, or do antibiotic research with the Tiny Earth Network program starting your first year. Our class sizes are small, with an average class size of 17 to 18 students, and we are 100% faculty taught and advised here. No grad assistants, no teaching assistants, and a student to faculty ratio of 14:1. You're learning from the experts in the field. We also have, as part of our engaged learning field here at Florida Southern, 3 guarantees, which include the opportunity to graduate in 4 years' time, complete a professional internship, and study abroad. And study abroad means going abroad maybe for 7 to 10 days as part of our junior journey trip. That's included in the cost of the college tuition. Maybe you want to earn college credit for a full semester abroad at a partner university. Or if it's most important for you to graduate in 4 years' time, to have your college credits count here at Florida Southern and be paired with an academic advisor in your field of study right away, even before you start here, to make sure that you're on track to graduate. All of these opportunities, from local internships to going back closer to home to finding that dream job, which is our goal here. And one of the first questions I like to ask is, what is that dream job that you have? Because our outcome rate at Florida Southern is 95%, meaning that students are getting into graduate school within 6 months after graduation or going off into the workforce. We have 100% acceptance rate out of our pre-med program, specifically in medical school programs this past year, 100% into law school. About 60% of our students get a job offer by the location that they do an internship, when that's the hands-on learning coming to life in the opportunities post-graduation. I'll also share with you here at Florida Southern, we are a residential campus. We have 93% of our students living on campus and have a 4-year residency requirement. If you're coming from more than 30 miles away from Florida Southern, you will be required to live in one of our amazing residential options for all 4 years. We have underclassmen first-year options on campus, guaranteed housing for all 4 years as well, as we have apartment living off campus. As part of your experience here, you can be involved in it all. Over 125 clubs, organizations, and activities, from Greek life here at Florida Southern to maybe you're interested in getting involved in one of our multicultural student organizations like our Black Student Union or Allies Club. Maybe you're passionate about community service or really want to get involved in intramural sports and athletics. We have that too at Florida Southern College, as we are an NCAA Division II highly competitive program. You can check us out today, either on the Sunshine State Network or on Twitch for our esports program, competing right now today in Overwatch and Rocket League. Have our own arena on campus for that. We even have ice hockey here at Florida Southern starting tonight at 7 o'clock. We kick off our season. What binds us together here at Florida Southern College is our desire to make sure that you're successful. And when we talk about Florida Southern College, the first step is to apply for admission. When you apply for admission here at Florida Southern College, you have a couple of options. You can apply through the Common Application, the Coalition Application, or our own online application. We don't have a preference of how you choose to apply to Florida Southern. We also have the option right now, if you apply early action, non-binding, to Florida Southern College by November 1st, you get a great pair of Florida Southern College socks that compares you, whether you're here in Florida, you want to put this on with your flip-flops, or maybe you're getting ready for the winter to come. That's a nice gift from us if you choose to apply early to Florida Southern. It's free to apply to Florida Southern College as well. And when we review applications for admission, we're going to be doing so holistically. We'll be looking at your high school transcripts. We do believe that's the best predictor of how you'll do in college. We'll look at an essay to get to know you. We do require at least one letter of recommendation for your application. And we are a test optional school at Florida Southern. So as my peer at Oglethorpe mentioned, if you'd like to apply with test scores, you can. If you'd like to go ahead and apply test optional, and then maybe you retest later in the fall, want to send those scores again, feel free to do so. That is your choice to do so. Each year, we receive anywhere between 10 and 12,000 applications for admission, and we admit just under 55% of the students who apply. And I get the question a lot of times, what makes a good fit? Well, we're looking for a student that embodies our cornerstone. That's our honor code here of service, the opportunity to make Florida Southern a better place, and scholarship. Speaking of which, at the same time you're reviewed for admission, you are automatically considered for merit scholarships. You don't have to apply separately for these. Our merit scholarships this year between $7,000, $21,000 per year. If you're a Florida resident, we accept any of the Florida state-based aid, we accept outside scholarships, federal need-based aid counts here at Florida Southern. We also are one of the schools that is able potentially to meet up to 100% of demonstrated financial need on a FAFSA. You even have the opportunity to apply for our prestige full tuition and full ride scholarships that is open for any student to go ahead and apply for. That's a lot of information in a short period of time, just under 9 minutes here about Florida Southern College. The next step I can't encourage enough is for you to visit us if you get an opportunity to do so. You may notice we just hosted our virtual day on campus here this morning. Check out and put in the chat flsouthern.edu/VDOC if you're looking for that, or schedule a time to come and visit us on campus at Florida Southern. Thanks for listening to a little bit more information about Florida Southern today.
Thank you very much, Florida Southern. Thank you to both of you for your great presentations. One of the advantages of only having two schools present is we have a lot of time for some questions. So attendees, if you have any additional questions, please do feel free to send them through via the Q&A feature, and perhaps we can do a few rounds of questions ourselves. And why don't we do, I know some people are frantically typing, but a student brought up a question, seemed like maybe a good one to answer as a group. Great question. So I will pose this to both of you. What is one factor students often overlook when considering what colleges to apply to? I think that's a great question. I hate to put you on the spot, but Oglethorpe, would you like to handle that first?
Yeah, 100%. I think in regards to Oglethorpe specifically, one thing students often overlook is the title of what it means to be private versus public. Oftentimes when you really dig into that, merit aid packages, holistic reviews, application, the personableness of getting in contact with your counselors, things of that nature, I think oftentimes kind of gets overshadowed by what it means to be public or private, especially larger private schools or public schools and smaller private schools in between. But really all I can really say is reach out, get in contact with your representatives, take a campus tour. I know Joe mentioned it as well. We are also doing tours this year. A lot of institutions are. We are excited to have students on campus. And what I really say is you're never going to know what you don't know if you don't ask. So getting out there, not stopping yourself, not letting your mind stop you from maybe attending the school of your dreams. Go ahead and ask, because you never know when a yes is going to be on the other side of that line to whatever question you're going to have asked.
And I will echo that. I'm going to share my screen for just a second here, and I'm going to put this back up for a second. If you look here, this is our admission team at Florida Southern. We're real people. We're not inside this computer box. I think everybody's kind of gotten used to that, but we're real people here to help you. And I think one thing that gets overlooked is how much of a role an admissions counselor can play in assisting you in the college search process, and not just for Florida Southern. On there, it kind of talks about video, chat, phone, text, email. For us, it is a QR code. We really want to connect with you as students as you're going through the college search process. I'll stop my share there. I think it's most important to think about how that person can play a role in not only directing you to maybe their school, but I've done it for students too. Maybe if it's something we don't offer for a major, or if it's something that students looking for would be a better fit for them, we're looking out for the best interest of the student. And I think that gets overlooked a lot of times. I say that a lot. Even if it's not here at Florida Southern, or maybe your first starting path is then to transfer into a school, everybody's path is different. but really taking advantage of these people in our offices. We are real people. Autumn and myself are real people that kind of help you here and want to connect. And don't be afraid to contact us. I'll also say one thing that gets overlooked in the admissions process, and we're seeing a lot this year, at least I could say, is you're spending so much time, and I'm hearing from students, in the fear of submitting the application for admission. It's like you're paralyzed right now because you're like, I want everything to be absolutely incredibly perfect in my essay and everything. That's not who we really are as people. Not everybody's perfect. We know that too. So please don't get paralyzed on one little itty bitty tiny thing in your application. At the end of the day, I really believe that everything works out. If you're looking at a school and if it's the right school for you, you're going to know it, you're going to feel it, they're going to admit you, and things are going to go well in that process. So a couple of quick tips to go over that. What sometimes gets overlooked of like the enormity of submitting the application that's there. Please don't feel like it's like the end of the world to hit submit on there and then you're just waiting in a panic. And then the same thing overlooked is the usage of an admissions counselor to be a mentor and assistant to you.
Great, thank you. What's one thing you want students to remember about your school? We covered a lot in 9 minutes and maybe you didn't cover everything. So what's one thing, what's your big takeaway for them? Why don't we go in reverse order? Joe, would you like to start off?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I did not mention in the 9 minutes that's there, and Florida Southern, I talked a little bit quickly about our cornerstone. And one thing that you will hear a lot about us is the word community. We are a community on campus and students take care of each other here at Florida Southern College. No place is utopia. I can't ever say that, but I will say, no matter your background, no matter what you believe, no matter where you come from, you're going to be welcome on our campus here. And as you're looking at colleges, one takeaway I encourage you and kind of dabbling a little bit into, like one thing I would even suggest for you is understand the culture of a campus when you're there and what students are on that campus. How does it feel when you're looking at that school? We are a very welcoming, community-oriented place. Our faculty are the ones who teach the classes. If you miss a class at Florida Southern, they're going to probably contact you and say, are you okay? Is everything okay? How can we help you? If you're struggling in class, you're going to have someone reach out. It's a different feel when you're at a smaller school like a Florida Southern or even Oglethorpe compared to a larger university that has tons and tens and tens of thousands of students. You are going to be a focus here. And I mentioned that a little bit, but understanding even more deeper, it's the community of students taking care of each other is who Florida Southern is at its core.
Perfect. So I will go next. And what I would really say is just the commitment to academics and financial aid as well, because that is going to be a large part of your experience here. As I mentioned earlier, we do offer a flagship 50 program. Off the bat, we want you to know that we are going to do everything we can to continue to reduce that cost for our students, because we know that, as Joe was mentioning, students come from all walks of life. So maybe you're paying completely out of pocket by yourself. Maybe you have aunts, uncles, grandparents helping you along with that. We also want to help you with that. College isn't something that should be an obstacle or a hurdle. It should be something that students have access to regardless of their background, and we really want to put that as a focus. And also our location. So we do offer small class sizes, as I mentioned before, but the networking ability that is able to happen when you have those relationships with the people sitting next to you in the class, with the people teaching the classes as well, there's no limit to where you might go, what you might be exposed to, things of that nature. We do offer study abroad programs as well, and all the merit aid that you're going to receive from Oglethorpe to attend in Georgia, you're also going to receive if you go to one of our 16 partner locations as well. So that's just another way that we want you to see things that are happening in your undergraduate experience as applied learning opportunities and not hurdles that you have to jump or bridges you have to cross when you get there. So that's what I would like students to keep in mind as well.
Great, thank you. Next question, and see, you kind of touch on this a little bit with the first question, but other than the great people working in college admissions offices, what's additional piece of advice you have someone going through the college search process, maybe somebody who's thinking 2 years out versus somebody who's getting ready to apply now? How would your advice maybe be similar or different for those two students? Oglethorpe?
So kind of what Joe was saying earlier is don't let the fear of submitting an app stop you from doing so. A lot of institutions, if you ask, I know us specifically, we do as well, we will defer admissions up to 3 semesters. So when you come in, the merit aid you receive, the package you get, your acceptance, we are willing to work with you because we know, especially right now with everything that's happened in the last 18 months, life is unpredictable. So maybe you need to take that time off, but don't be held back now and just wait to say, maybe we'll do this then, because at the end of the day, like Joe was saying, the application process is going to work out how it was meant to work out. So go ahead and get involved. Also reach out to schools. So as I was saying earlier, there can be different connotations with public schools versus private schools. Reach out across the board to see what has the best feel for you. And that also goes back to touring campuses. You're never going to know what an institution feels like via Google Images. When you're on campus, when you see the students around, when you have the ability to talk to your professors and connect with current students, that's really going to play a large part. And I think oftentimes, especially with us having been virtual this past academic cycle, some of you going into now a cycle and a half for schools, you kind of lose that personal touch of, these are real people willing to help me. There are real students going there that I can connect to. So really just keeping an open mind and reaching out and getting back out there, trying to reacclimate yourself to what a college experience will be, because we are currently having students on campus living there, having in-person classes. And when you've been kind of removed from that experience, getting back in there, seeing it happening in person in real time really does go a long way. So once again, I can't encourage you guys enough. If you have the slightest interest in school, reach out, because you never know what the answer is going to be on the other end of that phone call, email, text, etc.
That's all amazing, kind of in a wrap up of like information of what tips, and I'll add a little couple layers on top of that too. Something I didn't mention, and this is more of like kind of a tip as you're kind of going through the college search process. And I saw the question come into the Q&A chat about early action and the benefits of applying earlier on. For us here, and I know many early action schools, you're going to be the first to get your admission decision back. We are rolling here at Florida Southern College right now. And if you apply, you're going to get your decision within about 3 to 4 weeks. We already just started sending out our first offers of admission on September the 1st for next fall. Think of the weight that's just been taken off of your shoulders now that you have that nice, shiny acceptance letter to a college or university. You're in, you've got something in hand that's there by applying early action. So one of the tips. Another tip that I'll give to you here, and this is a common one, is, and I like to call it the flock scenario. It's a Saturday afternoon at 4:30, okay, depending upon where you're at. Right now, you've probably got about 19 different options to watch on different channels for different teams that are out there. Those are brands that I like to say. Every school that's out there sometimes has a brand name that's there. The flock mentality oftentimes is, I want to go towards the marketing, or I want to go where my friends are always going, or maybe where my parents attended or grandparents. I'm getting that push. If I can give anybody a piece of advice, be you and be who you are and choose the right fit for you. Just because it looks shiny and everything's great on TV or on a Google Slides piece or on a marketing advertisement or on a sweater or t-shirt you see at Walmart or Target that's there that everybody's wearing, or if you're actually like everybody in your family's ever attended somewhere, it doesn't mean that you have to go there or it's the right fit for you. And then the last piece to kind of even figure that out even more so, we talked about visits. I promoted our tours on campus. We have great ambassadors who do that and go out and share their stories and what the life is like as a student here. If I can give you a tip, no matter if you're looking at big, small, medium, public, private, city, rural, urban, suburban, whatever it may be, go visit a college campus on a Saturday afternoon, look completely and absolutely lost with your family. Stealth visit. See who helps you. Now, if you're a student that's like, I want to sit in the way back in the classroom, I just want to be in a large lecture hall, I don't want anybody to help me, that'll give you a culture identity of that school, what that's like. If you're like, I actually want to meet people and have good relationships and network and see what that's like here and see what the people are like if they're nice to me, you can do that. You'll figure that out. Those are my big 3 takeaway tips I'd give to anybody as you're going through the college search that you may not have heard of that's there before. And yes, it's great to go and do the school specific tours, do those, but also go back and see what it's like. Put your 2 feet on the ground of the campus, get the feel of the culture without anybody kind of telling you what you need to do for your visit too. That's important.
Great, thank you. Last question just came in via the Q&A. Very important question, I'm sure on the top of many people's minds. Is the food good at your school? And whoever wants to go first and address that, please feel free.
So I will take this one. As someone who went here for 4 years, I enjoyed it. I can truly say that. Also, with us, meal plans are included and they're unlimited as well. So you will have plenty of time to try all of the options. And I'm sure there is something that you like, whether it's the grill station, the stir fry station, what have you, there will be something. Also, I tell students to be creative. I know personally at Oglethorpe, there was a big push. We wanted more spices to add to our fries, to our burgers, things like that. And they gave that to us. So when you have options to kind of mix it up, to jazz it up a little bit, explore all those options. If you need dairy substitutes, if you need anything of the sorts that would just make that meal so much more home-like or cozy for you, once again, ask. That is one of the benefits of attending a small school. 9 times out of 10 from personal experience, I know this, there's going to be a yes on the other half of that question. So I will say, also college food, wherever you go across the board, after your 3rd month, if you're an out-of-state student, in-state student of not going home and having mom cook for you, it's all going to become the same. And it really is fine. You're going to be okay. You're not going to be stuck eating ramen in your room for the first 6 months of your college experience. So go in with an open mind, but no, it's going to be fine. You're going to find something that you like. You're not going to be eating fries for 3 meals a day. You're going to be good.
I'll address this one because I actually spent Friday afternoon doing testing of our food on campus for some of our new locations. And that was a bad idea because I ate way too much that was there. So I'll share, we have 10 different dining locations on our campus. We just opened on Friday a brand new Annie Ann's pretzel twister stand. They're doing pretzel pizzas here on campus, y'all. Like, that's nuts and crazy, and it's way too good to be true. We have Steak and Shake on campus. We have a Starbucks on campus. We have a Kieran Sushi on campus. We have a Fresh and Smoothie Company. We actually have a Boar's Head Deli. If you're from the South and you know Publix, Lakeland, Florida is the home of Publix, and you like Publix subs, we have a Publix substation on campus. We're the only college in the United States that actually has their own Publix substation with a Boar's Head Deli on campus. We have our main dining hall that has 7 different dining stations in it, so that's all you care to eat that's there. So we have a food truck on campus that does 9.5-hour smoked meats. That's right near where I am here on campus. That is dangerous, y'all. I mean, like bacon, mac and cheese with pulled pork in it. Come on. Like, and I like to eat. So there's a lot of good stuff. And I've been here now for a long period of time where students like the food on campus. That is one thing you won't see a Florida Southern student ever really complain about, is they have so many different options here. If you want chain location like the Steak and Shakes and Starbucks and now the Annie Ann's and that kind of stuff here, to more of your like actual like mom and pop type of food. We do steak and shrimp on Saturday night here at Florida Southern in our dining hall on campus, to Dino Nuggets on Tuesday nights. Get your kid on. So there's a little bit of everything. If y'all aren't getting hungry right now, there's something wrong with y'all. That's there too. So we got a lot of good food.
I remember when my university introduced a waffle machine. We were really excited. So things have changed a lot. Thank you very much to both of you for your great presentations and your additional questions that you spent time answering. And certainly thank you to all of our attendees. We're glad you were able to carve out some time to join us. Before we end this session, just a few quick housekeeping items. The first is that when you close this window, you will receive a very quick 5-question survey. We ask that you complete and give some good feedback about these sessions. And also just a reminder, a recording of this session will be available at strivescan.com/Cristo-Rey. But thank you again to everybody. Thank you to all of our attendees and to all of our students out there. Enjoy the college search process. And again, don't forget to reach out to these great people. Have a great day.